Hey everybody, Chief Meteorologist Brad Panovich here. It's the fourth weekend in a row. We might, just might, be talking about some wintry weather, but I will caution you. I've been looking at this very carefully the last couple of days. There's a lot of what we call meteorological red flags in this setup, and I'm going to kind of explain it and lay it out there. But it does not look to be a huge threat, but we're keeping an eye on that Sunday to Monday time frame, and it definitely something I'm keeping a close eye on, but I don't think we're quite there yet where I'm hearing the widespread rumors about more wintry weather. Let me show you what's happening here. So during the week, it's going to be super warm. We're going to see temperatures jumping into the 60s. We've got a pretty warm flow of air coming up from the south. You could see our big winter storm in the middle of the country. That is a big story weather-wise for the country. So we go through the week. You can see the waves of showers and wintry weather for Texas into the Midwest. This front eventually starts to get here. By Thursday, we'll start to see some moisture move in, but it's really into the afternoon hours Thursday into early Friday. And one thing we have to watch is maybe some strong storms. There's an outside chance we could see some strong storms with temperatures in the mid to upper 60s, but that's not the threat for winter weather this week. In fact, that front moves through, gets to the coast and stalls. This is where things get a little more interesting. So the front looks like it stalls somewhere near the coast. Now, you know, stalled fronts are fickle things depending on where they stall and how where they stall and how far offshore or near shore they are can be a big player. But what is known as we go into Sunday is we're going to have an area of high pressure. We call this a transient high because it doesn't anchor over New England. It actually is on its way out to the east. So it is supplying cold air. At the same time, a wave of low pressure forms on the stalled front and tries to throw moisture back into the cold air. Now, all these are moving pieces. You've got three moving pieces, which is a red flag immediately when you're trying to time out three things that are all moving. Nothing stationary, by the way, except for maybe the front. The wave of low pressure, the high pressure is trying to move out to the east. You see moisture move in, maybe starting as soon as Saturday night, but it's really Sunday night into Monday that we start to see some moisture returns here. So this is early on Monday morning. So I'm looking at my calendar here that, Monday, basically early on Sunday into Monday morning is where we're starting to see some of that potential of wintry weather. Now, right away, you look at that, oh, Brad, that looks pretty impressive, but look how short-lived that is. That is like in and out. So to me, this is all about timing this out. Does the moisture get in really early? You see the little low kind of cranks up and moves out. Or does it wait till later in the day? Because that timing's key. If it's in the morning, I could see some sleet mixing in with the rain and then it becoming rain and moving out. So right away, those are the red flags that I'm talking about because one, it's fast moving. The timing has to be just right. And even if everything works out perfectly like we're seeing on some of the guidance, and it's only some, it still doesn't look like a very big event. But there could be some sleet or maybe a little bit of ice mixed in there. So Weather Prediction Center already has us in an area of a 10 to 30% chance of some wintry weather. Sunday, 7 a.m. to Monday, 7 a.m. And again, you see that 10 to 30% chance. So what are some things that are giving me pause? Well, let's look at the ensembles. You know I love ensembles. There's a quick look at the ensemble spread for the Euro. We've got some showing a little bit of snow, but not a lot. I mean, it's about half maybe, and it averages out to about an inch. Let's look at the GFS. Less than that even, or excuse me, the European. The GFS is much more aggressive. I'm sorry, I was showing the GFS first. Much more aggressive. The European, that's not overwhelming support right there. And then one of the things I've been looking at are the individual runs. So let's look at this. Why are there red flags, Brad? Well, here's the first 25 ensemble members. And I want to point out a couple things here. Let me pause this real quick and go up to day 6. What's right there? So this is the storm. Let's show you. We've got, this one shows some wintry weather. This one, some. There's some hints here, maybe here, some there. Not much there, maybe here. So there you go. Out of those 25, you've got maybe 4 or 6, depending on how aggressive you're. Let's look at the next 25. We'll look at 6. So here's the next 25. So remember, there was 4. Look at this. There's really only 1, maybe right there, and maybe marginally there. That's not a lot of support for wintry weather. And the fact that you're seeing such a huge spread, some of these, I mean, look at this. That's completely dry, completely dry, completely dry, completely dry, completely dry. So you get the idea. There's more completely dry simulations than there are snow simulations. So those are red flags, but there's enough in there that I'm at least agreeing with this potential here going into Sunday night and Monday. And potentially this is going to be sleet to rain or ice. This is not going to be pure snow. It's not going to be an ice storm right now. It looks like kind of a CAD, maybe a sleet to rain mix. And because one thing I will show you that makes me also a little wary of this, one of the things about ice setups, and you can see the high pressure here, I said it was transitory. Because it's moving out, that's the supply of cold air. So as this thing develops here, it's going to use up the cold air quickly, especially if it's freezing rain, because freezing rain is a self-limiting process. As rain falls and freezes, it uses up the cold air. If you don't have more cold air to resupply the cold air you're using, eventually it warms up above freezing and the thing shuts off. So that's a real transitory setup there Sunday. But again, the time frame, Sunday to Monday, we are watching maybe potentially again. So we're in that sweet spot of 6 to 7 days out where the pattern is favorable for wintry weather, but we don't have a lot of specifics right now. And it's just something that we need to watch. Of course, I will post updates throughout the week. And again, it seems weird, but the fourth weekend in a row, we might actually have to deal with some wintry weather. But this go around of all the systems, this is a lot like last week. Really weak, probably going to be more, maybe some icy morning on Sunday, and then just becomes rain. But of course, we'll have details over the next couple of days as we get ready for the first weekend of the Olympics as well, the Winter Olympics on WCNC. So we'll have a lot to talk about as we get into the weekend.